How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody can hear me okay? Yeah. So I'm going to run this. We got about 15 minutes. Jack ran a little bit long, but that's okay. Because a lot of good questions happen. I met a lot of you guys when I was running for governor. A lot of stuff hasn't changed, has it? What's important to the Central Valley? Why the 13th District? Because that's what's really important. What is the 13th District? North Fresno, all the way up to Lathrop, all the way up to the Pacheco Pass. That's a lot of small towns that nobody ever talks about. Nobody ever talks about Gustine, Santanella, Fireball, Dos Palos, Chowchilla, Delhi, Livingston, Merced. That's all my district. What's important to all of us? Number one in the Central Valley, if you ever grew up here like I did, water. We live off farming. Our water gets dripped out every month, every year. We're dumping 19% federal water into the ocean for the salmon. Salmon got to live, right? But so do we. We have power outages in California like nobody else. Yet they want you to go to all green. 2035, you can no longer buy a new gas car or truck in the state of California. It's going to be all electric. If any of you guys are or have ever landscaped, own a blower, a weed eater, blower, if it's gas, after 2024, you will not be able to have it here in the state of California anymore. Now they want you to go to batteries. I love the way our competition always says the same thing. And these are elected officials. Let me tell you this. And this is what we got to look at when we vote. Somebody said, how do we get these people out of office? Here's how you get people out of office. You want change? Starts now. If they were an assemblyman, why are they running for Congress? If they did that much of a mess up in the assembly, what are they going to do in Congress? You think they're going to get better and their laws are going to get better and all of a sudden they're going to care about you? It's not. Let's stop re-electing career politicians into office. You want to make a difference? Change the way you vote. Change the people you vote into office. How many small businesses are going to go out of business in 2024 when you can no longer be a landscaper? Because now you need 50 batteries to run one day of work of landscaping. How much money is that going to cost that small business?
Lots.
That is what's going on in California today. Somebody brought up AB 1993. A lot of you guys don't know what that means. We talk about mandates. I'm going to come back to 1993 because you guys really need to hear about this because it affects each and every single one of us in this room right now. If it passes. And that's your assembly people. Again, the people we want to send to Congress, right? They're the ones making these laws. But they did such a great job that we want to move them up. Somebody asked about law and order. What's going on with the sign release? Proposition 47 and 109. That means if you're a lowlife, a felon, you're going to get cited, you're going to get released, you're going to get a ticket to go to court. You're never going to show up to court. Nobody ever cares because we defunded the police. We don't have enough law enforcement here to take care of what's going on. Is that a problem? Well, who started that? Our legislation. So what happens now? Imagine being a small business, a small retailer, and you know that Jack here can go ahead, go in your store, steal $950, walk right out. You can't touch him because the minute you do, you're going to jail on assault charges. You go to jail for assault. Who cares that he just broke the law and stole from you? The police comes. We'll give Jack a citation. We'll see you in court. Jack keeps rolling his... That's a good. How long can small businesses stay in business that long when you have $900 going out your door every 3 hours? Yet law-abiding citizens pay for this. There's your assembly bills that they have written so that they protect the criminals, not the hard-earning people. I brought out AB 1993, which somebody asked, what is it or what do you feel about it? Let's dissect it and know what it is first. First of all, if you're a 1099 employee, that means you're self-employed. You come to my house, you do a job, and you're not vaccinated, and I have you there 30 days, I get fined for having you work without your vaccination. If you own a small business, and your waitresses aren't vaccinated, They have to be tested every week. And when they're not tested every week, or they don't get vaccinated within 45 days, the restaurant gets fined for you being employed there. Talked about mandates. What mandates? 70,000. 70,000 people watched the Super Bowl. Not one mask. Yet my kid cannot go to school with 20 kids in the classroom without a mask. How crazy is this? And this is what we have allowed legislation to do. I stood with the kids when they ran out of school. I counted them. There were 50 kids. How many kids are there per school? 2,000, 3,000? Let's say 10% of the kids left school that day. What does that do? Absolutely nothing. You guys want to make a difference in school boards? Get involved with this. Tell each parent, tomorrow your kid and every kid walks out of school. Till you get 50 to 60% of the kids walking out of school at the same time, it's never going to change. Why? Because the schools have it in their mind already that 10% of the kids are going to miss one day out of that month. So the school misses no money because they'll excuse that absence. Do you imagine having to explain to the school board why 90% of your kids walked outside and weren't here for 3 days? It's great to do on Monday, but Tuesday we go back to school and we do back what they tell us to do. So what did Monday do? Absolutely nothing. You want to change schools? That's how you do it. You get everybody involved. You can't have 10%. You got to have 50 or better percent of the kids walking out of that class, out of that school at the same time. Then the school can't cover that up. Now they have to explain. Now, that happened Monday. What do you do Tuesday? You go back and you do it again on Tuesday. By Friday, they're going to see next week there's no more mask mandates. Because now it really hurt them in their educational costs. We talk about school choice. A lot of people in this room will say, hey, I'm for school choice. I'm not against school choice, but I'm for better education across the board. There's a difference here. School districts have how many good schools? 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky, if you live in a really good district. Well, what happens to the other 80% of the kids? Because I couldn't go across town because I couldn't afford the gas. Because gas is $6 a gallon. I can't afford to get up every morning and drive my kid across town. Does that mean because I couldn't get to that school, my kid deserves less of an education? Because that's exactly what's going to happen if we only push school choice. We need a school education. We need to go back and go to the root and hold accountable. Because guess what? Each and every single one of us are paying for that. You say we can't afford to send our kids to private school. You're paying for them to go to school. It is our right and it is our future to make sure our kids have the best education available that we as taxpayers are paying for. The federal government drops money into California for education. I will propose a bill with that money coming to education in California. Trade schools must be a part of that money coming here. We will fund trade schools for everybody because guess what? Everybody's not meant to go to college. Sorry guys, we're not all meant to go to college. But we all should have the right and the ability to make a good living. One of the worst bills ever passed. No kid left behind. How you guys ever heard that? They're right. Not one kid got left behind. All the kids got left behind. When did we grow up and they give you a participation award for losing? No, what did we do? We went out and we trained. We played harder. We made sure we didn't lose the next time. Now you get a pat in the back and a ribbon to say, hey, good job for being a loser. It's okay. Well, it's not. Because we took that into education. There's kids graduating high school today that can read at 3th grade level. What happened? But we want to cry and say, school choice. How many kids can fit in that school? We're going to do more damage if we don't fix education and we don't fix it at the root. We don't get trade schools going back here. CRT training, take it in college if you deserve to go to college. But teach my kid wood, metal shop, mechanic shop, ag. Teach them how to cook a meal. Teach them a trade. When you graduate high school, you should be able to get a job. Not play Xbox. And not even read the directions on how to play Xbox. Because that's what's going on today. That's why I am running for Congress. I want to be the voice of the Central Valley in Washington, D.C. Because we have rhinos, we have Republicans, we have Democrats. What we're missing is our voice. This isn't about party lines anymore. Because both parties have failed the Central Valley and the California people. They failed us when it came to water. When the economy drops, the Central Valley is the one that feels it the most. 2006, 2007, 2008, Merced County hit the hardest out of any recession place around. Where was the government then? They're collecting their fat checks. COVID-19 hit. What happened? Ridgeways. You cannot serve to anybody because they need to go through a drive-thru or you need to put plexiglass. To speed up to now. Oh, I'm sorry, don't allow anybody in your store unless they have a vaccine card or unless they're wearing a mask from the door to their seat. But then once you sit down, COVID-19 disappears. Doesn't work that way. We have been a society where they crush the small people and then they have you police everybody else is trying to come in and earn your business and keep you afloat. That doesn't make sense. We the people have to take our state back.
Amen.
Run? We can. Where are you running? Texas is as expensive as California now. Idaho is getting over flooded. Oklahoma is kicking us out of there. Where are we running? We need to run to our neighbors. We need to forget about our party lines and remember one thing. They're human beings and they're California, and everybody in California and Central Valley is suffering the same. Doesn't matter your party lines. My name is Diego Martinez and I'm running for Congress, District 13. I've known a lot of you. I am here to ask for your endorsement and stand behind me to make a difference in this district. One district at a time, we can take back California. Why take back the House? How many bills can we block? Can we get the Exxon pipeline turned back on? Of course we can if we put the pressure. We can bring America first and American jobs first. And that's what we're missing. We have a homeless problem that the federal government dumps crazy amount of money into the Central Valley to fix homeless. When was the last time you seen a homeless problem fixed here? You don't. Why? Because the administration keeps the money. Because there's no regulations of where that money gets spent. We need solutions, and we need them now. And we cannot keep waiting any longer before we fix our state and our country. It's time that we go America first. America first, and that's the way it should always be. Why are we sending billions of dollars to Afghanistan when we have people starving, dying on our streets every day here in America? It's time that we stop the cash flow to other people, start getting the American people back what they have paid for. I will take a few questions because I know we're in a time crunch today. Anybody want to ask anything or have a comment?
I don't know if it's a question or comment, but I'm kind of wondering, you said get people to stand up about mask mandates at least in the mostly Mexican neighborhoods, the one that we live in and others that we know. They are so indoctrinated, believing that these masks are so important. They have their 3-year-olds out in stores and running and playing wearing masks.
It's called fear.
How do you educate these seemingly intelligent people?
It's called fear. And if you look at the Hispanic television, if you ever watch Univision, they pay big time actors to go say, wear your mask. And I'm talking about big time actors. A lot of you guys heard about El Chapo. And you guys heard about a telenovela movie star who actually went and visited with him with Sean Penn. They have her going on Univision saying, please wear your mask. So what happens is, we have got to educate everybody one step at a time. But here, you want a real education? How the heck did 70,000 people that could afford $5,000 or more for a seat at the Super Bowl did not catch COVID-19? Because not one of them had a mask on. I guess if you have $5,000 to spend on nosebleeds, COVID leaves you alone that day because you can afford to go to the doctor, right? Why did our governor sit with Magic Johnson. And nobody ever said anything about Magic Johnson not wearing a mask. He didn't even have one in his hand. But that was okay.
He survived AIDS.
He survived AIDS, so I guess COVID's nothing compared to that. The mayor of LA, the county that you can't go outside unless you've been vaccinated and have 3 masks on, or they don't serve you, he's out there without a mask. How do we educate people? We talk one person at a time and we make sense about what we're saying. We don't threaten. We just talk the truth, and the truth will come out. That's how we do it. One person at a time. Any more questions?
Who is your biggest opponent in this race?
Myself. And the California taxpayer. Because if the California people don't believe in me and I stop working every day, I lose the race. I didn't lose it to a competitor. I didn't lose it to another Republican. I didn't lose it to another Democrat. I lost it to myself, and I lost it to the people of my district because I didn't work hard enough to earn their vote. That's the only person that could hold me back from winning this. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because somebody said there's 2 Republicans running this race or splitting the party. I'm going to just address that real quick. I didn't split anything. Before I got into this race, the Democrat running in office that wants to run for this Congress spot was already endorsed by Republicans. The party was already split. The real question is, who can reach to the other party and bring us together and united? And apparently, there wasn't anybody until I came in the race. I believe I'm that person. Because I believe both parties have failed people, and I think it's time we get a voice for everybody in our district, not just Republicans, not just Democrats, not just Libertarians, but the people of this district. And I think unity is where we need to start, and we need to start together. If that will be all, thank you guys very much for having me. It was a pleasure being here. We will talk to you guys later.